Good morning and welcome to Tips and Tricks Tuesday. I am Regina Andler, the host and the founder and CEO of Autumn Ascend Consulting. And today we're going to talk about the applications that, as a new coach and consultant, there are certain things that are an absolute must to have in place. And as a new coach or consultant, you may be thinking, I'm just starting out. I can't afford all this stuff yet. Let's add that yet in there, because the whole idea here is that you are going to start and you are going to build. Now, the bottom line is that you need to invest in your business. So there is some investment that comes with owning a business. As business people, we all know this, right? You need to accept that. And there are some tips and tricks for what I think of as the 5 core applications that you need to get started, the 5 core things that you need in place to really get moving. And then once you get those started, then you can always up them later. So the first one is you need some way to meet with people, right? And I use Zoom. Many people use Zoom. There are lots of other ways that you can meet face to face, whether it's a group or one-to-one. There's lots of other ways that you can connect with your clients. You can do it in all different manners. However, I do want to point out that Zoom, even the free Zoom, you can do the free Zoom to start out with and then get the paid Zoom if you need it later as you grow. It's common. So a lot of people know Zoom. Since the pandemic, a lot of people are using Zoom. So people are comfortable with it. You don't want to go out and get some third-party app that you send to somebody and they're like, what's that? I never even heard of that before. And then they're confused and don't know what to do. Zoom is a very common one. They have the free version of it that you can use. It's a great way to get started. Whatever it is, just pick one that works for you and your client base. And the next one is you need some CRM. CRM is your customer relationship management program. And that's an application that's where you collect people's emails. You send out email campaigns. You do different things with it to keep in touch. Critical to keep connected with all of these people that you're bringing in and that you're attracting. So you're producing all of this value-based marketing and letting them know who you are. And then they want to connect with you. They need a way to do that, and you need a way to collect the information. Now, of course, yeah, you can always put them in an Excel spreadsheet. I hear people say from time to time, oh yeah, I just put people's emails as they come in into a spreadsheet and then I manually do everything. That is a lot of work. There's a ton of programs out there that you can use the free trial, or some are very low cost. So I'll tell you, I started with MailChimp a while back. I was paying, I think, $14 a month. Once I started getting bigger and I needed to be able to do more things, I moved to Active Campaign. And so, yes, I pay more for Active Campaign. However, what I do is I started low and then moved up. So that's what I'm suggesting. If you don't know yet where that is all going, then start with that lower cost one and just get a program that you can convert into a bigger program later. Meaning what I was able to do was I had a bunch of folks that I connected with in MailChimp, and I was able to export that out and import it into my Active Campaign when I went there. There's another program called Zoho that's out there. It's another one. It's great for starters, and it's got an easy $14 a month starter version that really takes care of all the basics of collecting those emails and being able to send some automated emails out to folks so that you can stay in touch. Customer relationship, the value-based marketing, it's all about connecting with people. So it is critical that you have a way to collect and use this information. So that's number 2, the CRM, which is your customer relationship management program. Now, number 3 is you need some kind of a calendar app, right? So now you're meeting with all these people and you need to send them your calendar so they can book time with you. Now there's Calendly, and Calendly is a great program and it's very cost effective. I use a program called Book Like a Boss. A little bit more expensive. However, it allows me to create different pages, put videos on pages, and do a lot of things that Calendly can't do. And so that's why I personally like it. Calendly, though, is a great way to start out. There's a lot of other programs out there now that are coming up for calendars. Again, stick with what people know. So Calendly is a pretty common application that people know, like, and trust, so that they understand when your calendar pops up, they aren't going to get something that they don't really want. And so use something that they know. The next one is some kind of graphic design. If you're out on Facebook, or even if you're sending emails where you want to put some information out there and send it to folks that has a picture, or you're creating some kind of an ad or a promo or something like that, Canva is a great application to use for that. Now, Canva is not that expensive, and it has a whole bunch of stock photos, so you can use the free version of Canva. You can use the professional version. I use the professional version of Canva, and it allows me to go in and pull a whole bunch of photos without having to buy additional photos from some kind of photo stock place. And they have templates. You can create newsletters, you can create Facebook posts, Instagram posts, you could create a book, you can create an ebook on Canva. Canva has everything inside of it that you need to create the lead magnets and the posts and the information that are critical to your value-based marketing. So that's number 4, which is some kind of graphic design program. And again, I recommend Canva. It's very user friendly, really super easy to use, and it includes all kinds of different bells and whistles to make your life nice and easy. And the last one is, you're in business, you need some way to get your payments, right? So you need some payment processing system. Personally, I use Stripe. I've been using Stripe for many years. When I had my computer company years ago, I used Stripe, and so I just continue to use Stripe. PayPal, which is very well known, you can use PayPal. PayPal has actually a business version that actually allows you to create forms and put them on your pages. So if you have a page where you're selling something, that you can have them link, and most people around the world understand PayPal and can use PayPal to do that. There's a ton of merchant services out there that will allow you to take credit cards. Be careful on which ones you take. They all have some kind of fees, and they take stuff. PayPal takes stuff. There's a fee for using PayPal. The fees for using Stripe. The Stripe fees actually just went up a little bit recently. Nothing that dissuaded me from moving away from them for now, since I'm so ingrained with them and I use them on my forms and for my pages for selling. And for me, it's really super easy. So pick one that works for you. Do your shopping around, because the payment processing makes their money when you sell something. So most of them have the fee, and then some of them actually have annual fees that go along with it that are in addition to the percentage they take. So read the fine print, because there's a lot out there. When it comes to the payment processing, that's the back end, and people understand that, they're just putting their credit card in. You want it to be secure. You want it to have the information that you need, and you want to make sure that they aren't taking too much away from you for your sale. So those are the 5 core applications that any coach or consultant needs to get up and started with their business. If you are already started and don't have those things in place, you probably want to think about doing that. So I'm going to recap again. Zoom, great way for meeting one-to-one or in a group. You can use the free version. Be careful about using other outside meeting applications, because people aren't familiar with it. And when people aren't familiar with something, it makes them nervous. They don't want to come. They aren't sure about it. Everybody knows Zoom now. Pretty much everybody knows Zoom now. So they're comfortable with it and they understand it. And Zoom is pretty cost effective. So you can get Zoom really cheap, even if you have the paid version of it. And then the second one is that CRM. That's the biggie. Your customer relationship management program is the big one, because that's where you're collecting everybody's emails and staying in touch and being able to reach out to many without doing a ton of work. Meaning, instead of having to email 20 people individually, excuse me, instead of having to email 20 people individually, you can send one email out that goes to everybody. And then the calendar app is number 3. They need a way to connect with you. Make sure you have a calendar app that works and works for them, so they can add stuff to their calendar. You can add stuff to your calendar. When they go out and meet, it allows them to put the meeting into their Google calendar or their Outlook calendar or whatever it is that they use. It has the little app there that allows them to add it. For me, it's a little pet peeve of mine. There's nothing more irritating for me than when I connect to somebody and I make a meeting on one of their calendar apps and it doesn't give me that option. And then I have to manually go over and add it to my Google Calendar or add it to my Outlook calendar. And maybe that's just a me thing now because I'm so used to the automation. I find that kind of irritating if they're not using one of the calendars that automatically allows me to add it to my own calendar. And I just click a button and it's added. We do live in that microwave world, right? So the fourth one is that graphic design program. Canva is awesome. There's a bunch of them out there. Be careful what you use. Again, use what works best for you and with what you need. If you're creating lead magnets, like a consumer awareness guide, you're creating an ebook, you're creating a form, a checklist, there's templates for everything in Canva. The free version is very limited as to what you can use. The pro version is not that expensive. And so, it's a really cheap solution that is very, very valuable at the end of the day. And then the last one is the payment processing. So again, PayPal, I use Stripe. PayPal is also, something that everybody knows. Make sure you have a way of taking those payments. As far as backend, I'm going to add a sixth one in here. As far as backend stuff is concerned, I just do want to make a note of some kind of a bookkeeping application, whether you use QuickBooks or something like that. You can use an Excel spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be fancy when you're starting out. You can use something really super simple to get started with and then move from there. So that's just a little added one on the back end for a number 6 here. And these applications, again, are the 5 core applications, as far as I'm concerned, that every coaching consultant needs in order to keep their business healthy, stable, and moving forward. That's my tips for today. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.